Bhakti Swami Prabhupada ki Swami Krishna Bhakti Paramahamsa Parivraj Kashariya Saptaras Sisipati Sarangas Bhakti Saraswati Swami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Namaste Gauti Vaishna Vrinda ki Namaste Rishal Hare Rasta Kumar ki Prem Sikha Sikha Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Galaraj Shri Gaura Bhakti Vrinda ki Prem Sikha Krishna Gopinatha Shama Kumara, Krati Giri ki, Vivaram ki, Natamai Puranam ki, Nangamai ki, Ramanai ki, Bhakti Devi ki, Tulsi Devi ki, Harinam Sankirtan ki, Shri Radha Gopinatha ki, Gauri Jai ki, Sambhavera Bhakti ki, Glory Studia Samudra, Glory Studia Samudra, Glory Studia Samudra, Glory Shri Guru Shri Gauranga. Namo Srimate Krishna Krishna Hare Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati
So Hare Krishna. So once again we are very fortunate to be part of this very auspicious ceremony, the taking of Diksha, where in the life of a Sanatanist must accept a guru who will give enlightenment back home, back to God. The one and only purpose for a guru, in which devotees who have taken a vrat to chant a certain number of rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, and to give up bad habits in this life, they are awarded this fortune. It says, Brahmanda Bharmeti Kone Bhagivanji, Guru Krishna Kripaya Bhakti Lakabhi. Brahmanda Bharmeti Kone Bhagivan, after millions and millions of births, lifetimes, one becomes a Bhagavan Jiva, a very fortunate soul that gets the opportunity for Guru Krishna Kripa, the mercy of Krishna and Guru, to create in the heart what is called the resting place for bhakti or devotion. And when this seed of devotion is planted in the heart, it takes shelter and ends at the lotus feet of Krishna. So they are very fortunate, and you all are also fortunate to witness today's ceremony. I now hand you over to His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami, the walking monk from Canada. And Bhakti Marg Swami is a practitioner, a teacher in the art of bhakti, following in the footsteps of his guru, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, the founder and acharya of this International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, Maharaj is taking this burden, if you want to call it that, of accepting disciples on behalf of his spiritual master to push on this mission of Lord Chaitanya, this mission of Lord Krishna, which is to teach everyone what it means to be a devotee of God. So I now hand you over to His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami.
Okay.
Is loud enough?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. How long do I have to hold this? Okay. 20 minutes, okay. As is necessary. Hare thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Jnana Tamarandasya Jnanam Janashlakya Chaksharamindritamina Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance. My spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisance unto him. So what we'll do is we'll take one verse from Bhagavad Gita, which is pertinent and to what's occurring here. And we'll take it from there. Everybody's happy, nice and nervous. Okay. So from chapter 5, Karma Yoga, actually Krishna consciousness. Ye hi sangsparshajarkamo bhoga tuko yogana evate adyantabandakavanteya tateshu ramate buddha. I chose this verse because that's where the marker is. And that was a good verse. Okay, here it is. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery. That's a sound effect of misery. An intelligent person does not take part in the sources of misery, which are due to contact with the material senses. O son of Kunti, such pleasures have a beginning and an end, and so the wise man does not delight in them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Material sense pleasures are due to the contact of the material senses, which are all temporary because the body itself is temporary. A liberated soul is not interested in anything which is temporary. Knowing well the joys of transcendental pleasures, how can a liberated soul agree to enjoy false pleasure? In the Padma Purana, it is said, Ramante yogino nante satyanande che atmani iti rama padena sao param brahmadhyate. The mystics derive unlimited transcendental pleasures from the absolute truth. And therefore the supreme absolute truth, the personality of God, is also known as Rama. And the Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.1, it is said, Nayam deho deha bhajan driloke kastan kaman arade vibhujanye Udivyam putrikayena satvam shudyet yasma brahma sotyam punam tam. My dear sons, there's no reason to labor very hard for sense gratification while in this human form of life. Such pleasures are available to the stew leaders, hogs. Rather, you should undergo penances in this life by which your existence will be purified. And as a result, you will be able to enjoy unlimited transcendental bliss. Therefore, those who are true yogis or learned transcendentalists are not attracted by sense pleasures, which are the causes of continuous material existence. The more one is addicted to material pleasures, the more he is entrapped by material miseries. Okay. And so that's the verse. Hare Krishna. We'll speak on that in a moment with our Krishna Sangha today. Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Puhamani Namaste Saraswati Varavani Pujarini Niravishi Shashayavadi Pasta Chedishatarine. Hare Krishna. So, where's Buddha? That's the word that's used here. It means intelligent person. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is mentioned that intelligent people will connect with an amazing monk. And his name is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is the avatar for this age. He is Krishna himself. And he will not come with his usual weapons. Krishna sometimes bears the weapons of Vishnu, namely the gada, club, which sometimes has a little blood on it, from the last demon that he slain. Also the chakra. Don't we sound like pacifists sometimes? And then there's the chakra, which is a very sharp-bladed, fiery, circular weapon that does real clean cuts. And then he's also known to have the Padma, he has the lotus flower, and he also has the Sangha, he has the conch. These are the way the Lord is decorating his hands. And that's how he appears. We were talking about Mohini Murti, and how that was this morning, and how she happened to have the chakra available. It was God who had a transgender dynamic. And he took the form of a beautiful, alluring lady, and he actually took the chakra and let a character by the name of Rahu have it. Yeah. So the weapons are there. Intelligent people will side with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he is bringing on the Yuga Dharma, which is to chant the holy name. Life will never be the same. You know, chant the holy name. Life will never be. I'm doing this all by myself. It's jazzy. The Lord comes with his weapons, and the weapons are his devotees. They're pacifists. They don't need any weapons except for just chanting. No? Sometimes people describe, like I've been on my walks across Canada and also the U.S. And I was walking with this Afro-American. His name was Trayvon, and he looked like Bob Marley. He was tall, 19 years old. We shared the same birthday. We got along really well. He had dreadlocks as well, and he rapped along the way while we were walking. And we walked for 45 days together, almost. And it happened a few times. The police came to stop us. So what's going on here? And well, we're just doing this walk across the U.S. And they thought they had a big catch, because first of all, they thought people were reporting because I'm wearing orange. I'm a prisoner, an escapee from a prison. And then Trayvon looked like a drug dealer. So what's going on here? We're doing the walk across the I'm a Hare Krishna monk. Well, who's he? I said, well, he's one of our members. What have you got there? Well, they looked at our bean bags. These are our meditational beads. I was tempted to say these are our bullets. And we use them on people. But to be careful what they say, what I say. And they asked more questions. Where are you from? I said, well, I'm from Canada, Toronto. And then suddenly, like, well, they have to cool down. It's got to be nice to the tourists, right? So anyways, weapons. They are weapons. This indicates that we're the tilak. It's like a war paint. Have you ever thought about that? War paint. You don't have to tell every Tom, Dick, and Harry on the street that we're out to war. In one way we are, but we don't want to come across as aggressors. But in reality, we are declaring war on Maya. Say, Maya, I'm at war with you. I'm no longer a slave. So, anyways, we had good exchanges with the police, and they toned down after a while, and everything was cool. We got a chance to hear Krishna's name, see a couple of devotees, and then they were on their way. But they were so excited. Well, we got a guy. This is a good day. I got a real catch. I caught a big one. An escapee from a prison. That's the way they're thinking. There's this one guy. I can see it on his badge. He was Italian. He looked Italian. And I felt like saying, man, come on, you're Italian. You have to chill out a little bit, Have some spaghetti. You're warm people, I was telling a couple of officers, people report on me every day that I'm out of a prison. And so you guys come and check me out. And I said, I think people are just watching too many movies, too many horror films, And the police had to agree, yeah, you're right, you're right. Anyways, we always make friends with the police. Make friends with the authorities. Who's the authority? Krishna. Okay? Who's the authority in this day and age? It's Chaitanya. He's our real prince, our real lord. He's the one that's making a difference. So it is said that if you have some buddhi, some intelligence, you'll join his mission. And his mission is to share, to engage in yagyai, sankirtana, prayaya, nityantihi sumedhasaha, the yagya of chanting. So now, Rasikananda is very kindly, he's going to be lighting the fire in a few minutes, and we're going to be witnessing an Agnihotra, a Havan, or a Homa, depending on what part of India you're from. And we just call it a fire sacrifice. And it's nothing, no intention like what the Mayans did or whatever they do, throwing people in the fire, like, human sacrifice, nothing like that. Prabhupada, had these kind of ceremonies go on, but he would also give prominence and declare that it's the chanting that's the most important thing. When Krishna Balaram deities were installed in Vrindavan, Prabhupada had invited the local pundits to come to chant mantras. He thought it was important to engage them. But he writes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, the CC, and I know I'm very hip when I use short forms because that's the way everyone talks nowadays. I really can't. CC, okay. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada is talking about when the deities were installed, I considered that the chanting was more important than the chanting of mantras by the local pundits. So that's what we do. We chant Hare Krishna in different ways. One way is in a quiet, solitary way. It's called japa. Then you get a few more people together. You pull out the instrument. It's called bhaja. And then, if you really want to go wild and shake the earth and create an earthquake and a volcano, hurricane, tsunami, and a Canadian snow blizzard all at the same time, then you have a kirtan. Yagya sankirtana prayaya. Yagya means sacrifice, and sankirtan refers to samyak. Sanskrit word, it means participatory, everyone inclusive. A lot of people together. So, it's intelligent to be part of this, what we are doing, and we discussed the other day how having a party, Prabhupada redefined what is a party. Don't get drunk, don't take any drugs, but have nice sattvic food, it's offered to Krishna. What else? You play music, and you might throw a little philosophy out here and there. At the very least, exchange business cards very quietly. And then the rest is just, and you go to sleep, you take a nap in the corner of the big hall, and then you wake up and jump in for more kirtan, and that is the fire that will cause, our karma to turn into ashes. Ashes are good, by the way. When I was walking in Northern Ontario, I had done Sankirtan distribution of books, and I went through there just after a major fire, ripped through the land, and so many trees were downed. The only good thing about it was that there were all these pine trees and fir trees that were taken down, but it smelled like incense. It was kind of nice, actually, pine-scented incense. Now I went, so everything was pretty much flattened in certain areas, and then it was left like ashes. Then I walked through that area 10 years later, and I saw a new growth of beautiful, thick greenery. I said, wow, what a miracle is this that nature executes. So ashes are good. We're going to have some ashes on our forehead after, so we're keeping in with our theme. So now the thing is that if you're intelligent, you won't indulge in sense gratification. That's the essence of the verse. And by taking initiation here, you're making a vow. I'm going to have fun, but I'm going to have a different kind of fun. I'm not going to do what I did before. Now, I used to eat meat myself. I used to drink beer. I toked a little bit. I did all those things. Because under peer pressure, you did those things. Does that resonate with some of you? Some of you, anyone that was laughing and smiling, that means that they were doing it too. But I was not happy with those things. I said, come on, after a while you get sick, you can vomit. And I remember people saying, oh, we had a great time, we had a blast on the weekend, We were so, they use colorful words. And we were, and then I just vomited all over the place, the next day. So, yeah, great. You had a good time, right? That's the thing, like with drugs and things like that. You feel a lightness. You feel like you're in another world. But after it's all over, then it's a crash. It's very horrible. So Krishna talks a little bit about that. He's actually speaking about do what in the beginning is a little bit uncomfortable, which in the end turns into nectar. Right? So Jin and Japa, which we're prescribing to, it may not always be so easy, struggling to do these rounds. But you stick by it. You become strong. You become like a soldier. You become a strong man and a strong woman by sticking to these rounds. And it's prescribed to try to do these things in the morning, get them done as soon as you can. Just like Prabhupada used to say, I finished my japa, so now I can do any old damn thing. Prabhupada said that once. You did? Is that something? Now I can do any old damn thing. Meaning that I've got this done, put it to the side. Now my day is free, and I feel strong, and I can take on the world. I can deal with the pressures of the day. So this is what we need to do. The purport also talks about liberated soul. Liberated soul is not interested in these sort of lower activities. Now, here's what happens. We have a lingering taste for the things that we've done in the past. It's still there. We get reminders, oh, yeah, I had such a good time in that joint over there. Oh, those people were so nice. We used to party here and there and that. It haunts you sometimes. We have to take a firm stand and say, no. Maya comes around your door looking real great, gorgeous, and dressed to kill, She's really hot. And you say, no. Close the door. And then, or doorbell. I told you no. Don't you understand English? No. N-O. Goodbye. And she's very insistent, right? And then she's got her tricks. So we just want to be careful and others. Now if we fall a little prey to some weakness, then you go and get some help. In devotees, we have to be helpers. We're Chaitanya's helpers. If somebody enters into a little bit of weak state, Krishna conscious wise, we don't shun them. We don't, talk about them. No. We actually keep everything nice and cool, calm, quiet, collected. We try to help them. That's all. We try to say, maybe I can help them. Like that. That's what we do. One of the pitfalls in Krishna consciousness, which you find practically any place in the world, is something called gossip. Okay? And so, like a small town dynamic. And but there's really no place for that. There are some famous sayings about gossip. Do you want to hear them? I wrote them down because they're real juicy. Okay. Here's a good one. It is easier to dam a river than to stop gossip. True? True? But you still have to try. As long as you try, Krishna's there. Dadami Bhuti Yagam Tam. He'll give you the intelligence. You come close to Krishna, he'll help you. Okay, here's another one. Anyone who will gossip to you will gossip about you. True? Anyone who's got stuff. You're the next to, you're on the hit list. So watch out for those kind of people. You've heard this one before. If you can't say anything nice, then don't say anything at all. Just fermez la bouche, which in French means shut your mouth. Okay. I like this one too. Believe nothing of what you hear and only half of what you see. Isn't that good? And here's one that really gets me going. 4 horses cannot overtake the tongue. 4 horses cannot overtake the tongue. They go, going high speed like those crazy guys on the motorbikes last. So these are the things that as Vaishnavas that make commitments, we want to avoid getting into those kind of, cultural dynamics that happen, small towns, small communities. And remember, it's common unity. Unity means common unity. We're united and we have a common denominator. And the common denominator is and there's no difference between the two. And what was that? I just Vaishnavas, yes. And basically, we have to get along with everybody. Even the dogs across in Cassia Gardens. Have you ever been there? Okay. We just have to get along. So when we get initiated into Krishna consciousness, that means, particularly with Prabhupada, International Society for Krishna Consciousness, which has 7 purposes. And it means we're entering into his house. And he's the main guru. He's the big daddy. He's the big boss. And all of us who play the role as gurus, initiating gurus, we're little gurus. We're tiny little guys. We work under him, we work with Prabhupada. We do things for his pleasure, to continue the succession going on, and that's very important. It's so nice to see that we have a nice mix of devotees here, and that they are coming forward, and coming from different backgrounds, different age groups. It's nice to see some young men and women coming here. This is a sign that we're very much alive. And we have an obligation in ISKCON to do 4 basic things. At least we've narrowed it down to 4 things. Number 1, we are sharing Shabda Brahman. Shabda Brahman means the name. Kirtan. We get people involved. Come to the Kirtan. Come to the 24-hour Kirtan or 12-hour or 3-year Kirtan. Whatever you want to arrange. Bhakti will arrange something pretty big. Okay, and then we share one other thing, and that is wisdom. Books. There's a lot of good stuff here. 700 verses of power-packed information that helps you to understand I'm not this body, I'm a spirit soul. I have a connection with the divine, with the Supreme Spirit, and we have a relationship, and I'm going to go somewhere as a result of knowing him. Okay, this will solve my problems. I follow Dharma, I follow my Dharma, I follow my codes, my rules, and I'm safe. I'm protected. As soon as we step out of the line, out of that line, I remember one day, I don't know if I ever told this community this story, but this is the last time I walked across Canada. I was in the highway too, and it was Sunday morning, and I like to wave to people, so I waved, to this one lady, and she did a U-turn, and she just came from a party, obviously. It was Sunday morning, and she had sort of a low-cut dress, and she walks out of the car, leaves the door open. I could tell she had been drinking, and her little Labrador dog that walks behind her, and there's music playing. Johnny Cash's Walk the Line. So she comes to me and she goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "I'm walking across Canada to promote spiritual awareness. It's my 4th time." Oh, well, I know a place down the road where the sun is coming up just now. And I said, I'm not going to be able to leave the road because my support person will miss me. And in the background, from the radio, Johnny Cash's song was saying, I keep my eyes wide open all the time because you're mine. I walk the line. And it was like God saying, keep going. Keep going, you know. So I felt kind of sorry for her because, she has some idea of what is lonely, I guess, looking for friends and so on like that. So we want to overcome these things, and we want to share wisdom because it will help people overcome their urges and their hankerings. Give them better options so their minds will be at ease. So we're sharing Shabda Brahman, this Kirtan. We're sharing Jnanam. Okay, what else are we sharing? Hint, hint. Someone left their hair on. Okay, unofferable. Okay, Prashadam. Prabhupada said it's our biggest weapon. So in our ISKCON society, we have 3 things to share. But there's a 4th one. Can anybody guess what that is? If we want to narrow everything down to what Prabhupada has given us. Yes, love. All you need is love. I'm just looking at the older folks around here. You're thumping your... Okay, so hospitality, kindness, smiles, warmth, being caring, taking care of their needs. Follow-up is important when somebody comes. It's a big deal for some people to come to our doors. They have to build up their guts. And, it's not always that easy. So we have to make it easy for them. We have to build bridges for people. Build bridges. So those are our obligations in short, in brief. This is what we have obliged ourselves to. And one thing, what's nice about Krishna consciousness is that you become realized by sharing realization. It's not like going to the cave they have at the beach there. It's just not sitting there and going, oh. It's not about that. It's more about going out to where the public is and where the people are and sharing the strength that you have. So that's what it's all about. So giving this love is very important. That's what Prabhupada gave. Somebody asked me the other day, so can you tell us a little bit about Prabhupada, something special about him? And I said, well, he was very human. And everybody started laughing. What are you laughing about? They wanted me to explain that, perhaps something mystical about Prabhupada. Well, there was a glow coming from his head, a halo, and his skin was shining, and there were so many miracles happening. I didn't see any of that kind of stuff. But Prabhupada was very kind, down to earth. There's some beautiful novels out there right now, like Mukunda Maharaj's book, Miracle on 2nd Avenue, and then there's Shamasundar's book. Has anybody ever read that one? Shooting the Rhino with the... Chasing the Rhino with Swami. The 2nd volume's out. Or trying to get out. Shamasundar just contacted me yesterday and said, the books are printed in Canada. Can you help me get them out? I said, I'll try my best, dear old brother. Dear brother. So you read those books and you'll be charmed. You'll be charmed. So I'm going to ask the initiates to read as much about Prabhupada as you can. And when you can understand, you get the pulse of his heartbeat, then you try to match it up. You synchronize yourself with that. And then you're in good company. Then you're okay. So understand his mindset, his drive, what makes him tick. And you do that by reading about him and hearing from people who spend some time with him. So I'm one of those people who didn't have so much time. I did hear him speak. I was in Chicago at the park on Lake Michigan on a morning walk with Prabhupada. And there were a bunch of sannyasis walking with him, and some were brahmacharis, some ladies. And a cyclist came by, and he stopped close to Prabhupada. Well, actually stopped close to me. That's why I remember this so well. And I said, "Excuse me," and everyone stopped. So Prabhupada looked at him. He said, "I just wanted to know why some of you have the sticks and others don't. You know the dandas? Yeah. Why do some of you have the sticks and others don't?" And Prabhupada looked to Brahmananda and said, "What did he say?" And then Brahmananda said, "He wants to know why we have the dandas, Prabhupada. Why do we have the dandas, the sticks?" "Tell him we have them to shoo away the dogs." And so then I was right there, and then he said, his last remark was, "Well, ask a stupid question, you get a stupid answer." I said, "It wasn't a stupid question, you're fine." So Prabhupada was projecting some light humor. It's necessary. We don't always need to be so terribly formal. Personally, I can't stand formal devotees. I just want to say, please get out of my way. Like fanatics. There's nothing worse than a fanatic. Actually, we're fun addicts. We're addicted to fun, and we're not fan addicts. Mind you, some rules have to be honored, but you don't have to become like Mr. General, like G.I. Joe. It's not necessary. Just do and correct with love. People that might need a little help. Again, we're helpers. By becoming initiated into ISKCON, number one, we're in Prabhupada's domain. He's our main guru. He's our principal guru. And we become his helpers, those who are initiated. We come to help them a little bit more than we already have been. So I think my time is probably up. Is it right about, am I right on the clock? Really? 32? 2 minutes over. Okay, usually I'm pretty good at time, The time I am, Krishna says. You feel it after a while. When doing so much walking like I have, you get a sense of what is time, how long it is you've been on the road, and how much you've done. You have a feel for it. Okay, so I guess we don't have time for Q&A at all, but we can do that a little later on. I guess, do we go on with the rest of the ceremony? Okay. So what we're going to do now, thank you very much for listening. We've asked everyone to very much cooperate with the managers of the temple here and the community, and to cooperate very much with my very dear friend, His Holiness Guru Prasad Swami, and in addition to that, we already talked about what we need to do as far as obligations are concerned. So I have a list of devotees here. Will come forward for the firing squad. The material life is being just killed right now. And we have one person who's getting second initiation. That's Leela Raj Devi Dasi. Over there. For the ladies. You perus have to learn how to do that here. Matajis, you have to try. If you don't, the men are going to overtake you. Okay, so I'm just going to order things the way that the names kind of came to me. So that's the way we'll do it. We are also going to ask our initiates, I don't know if this was mentioned to them, but we'll need your first name, your last name, we'll need your profession, will need your contact. And why? Don't worry, nobody's going to come in. You're not going to be on a mailing list. Can you give me a donation? We're building a temple. It's not for that. The reason is, if something happens to the guru, we have a record. Something happened and nobody knows. And basically, those who are being initiated, they're again part of the mission. You're not part of the Bhakti Marg Swami Club. No. I mean, you can like me, and I like you too. But we have to remember we are part of a bigger picture. That's so important, bigger picture. So we'll ask Naresh. You know what I'll do is I'll go through the list. Can you remember your names? And it is boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl. Well, it's just the way it is. Okay? So start with a boy, and I'll say your name. Just remember it right now, and then you'll know that after that person's one is offered their obeisance to Prabhupada, then they can offer obeisance to me, and then we'll do it one by one. We'll see how it flows, okay? So first of all, it's Naresh, then it's Vijay, Sadhya, Hemvati, Rishi, Cindy, Pulmati, Tulsi, Mahadeo, Maureen, Ramchand, Devanand, Molly, Urmila, Haladar. Got it? So you just have to remember the person that was in front of you. TK? TK means trust Krishna. All right. Okay, so we'll ask Naresh to come forward. Oh, thank you. And while this is going on, we can have soft metal kirtan. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Somebody has to take the lead on the chanting, unless we're going to change positions and do the chanting. No, but not right now. Okay. So, Naresh, Prabhu, how are you? You look, like I said, 10 years younger. And we're just going to ask if you could tell us what are the 4 regulative principles that you'll follow, and then you can tell us how many rounds you'll chant on the beads every day. Okay, you said it right, in case you didn't hear it. Is there another microphone? Would that be helpful? That might intimidate some people. Okay, so Naresh, and how many rounds will you chant every day? 16 rounds minimum. Thank you for stepping forward, okay? We're going to give you your beads, and we're going to give you the name Narayan Das. Now, so Vijay should be right there. A little less depressing, Prabhu. Probably could have slipped over the line. So Vijay, can you tell us what are the 4? I'm going to say it like Dracula would say it. It just sounds so much deeper and richer, okay?
Sham.
Tell us what are the 4 regulative principles.
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit activities.
And how many rounds will you chant from now on until the day you die?
Minimum 16 rounds.
Okay, great. I couldn't resist. Okay, so we'll give you the name. I'm giving some names from top brothers that I have in the US and Canada. So Vishwakarma Das. I know there are plans for a bigger, building and facility down the road, and Vishwakarma, architect of the demigods, maybe you can pitch in and help out. So we got Satya Devidasi. Well, Okay, good. So Satya, thank you. Could you tell us what are the 4 regulative principles that you'll adhere to? I don't want to scare you. I won't do the Dracula thing.
No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex.
Dracula would say, "What? No meat eating? What is that?" Okay, and then tell us how many rounds will you chant?
Minimum 16 rounds daily.
What was the last thing?
Daily.
Daily. Oh, yes. Okay, daily. Thank you very much. Okay, so we want to give you the name Sattvagun Devidasi. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Thanks. Bhakti. Hare Krishna. So if you could please tell us what are the 4 regulative principles that you're going to follow?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit activity, and no gambling.
Great. And how many rounds will you chant every day?
16 rounds every day.
Sure. So your name is Hari Kirtan Devidasi. Srila Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you so much, Rishi, for coming forward. Could you please tell us what are the 4 regulative principles?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit behavior, and no gambling.
And no
Gambling.
gambling. Okay. Takes me a while to get used to the accent. Of course, I'm the one with the accent, right? Okay, so tell us how many rounds will you chant every day?
Minimum 16.
16, okay. So we'll give you the beads and we'll call you Rasamrita Das. Mission Prabhupada. Bhakti, Cindy, could you tell us what are the 4 regular principles that you will follow?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit activities.
Great. And how many rounds?
Minimum.
Great. So your name is Sadhavi Devidasi. Sadhavi. And after her is Tulsi Mahadevo. We can, whatever thing we do it at the end for that grand finale. We can just make it do that. My neck is gonna crack here. Okay. Well, Mati, would you like to tell us what are the four regular principles?
No eating, no gambling, no intoxication, and no illicit sex. Conduct.
I missed that one.
No illicit activities.
Okay, great. And how many rounds will you chant per day?
16 minimum.
Okay, so we'd like to give you the name of the Devaki. Before she became Devaki, she performed austerities. Your name is Krishni Devidasi. Krishni. Prabhupada ki. Krishna. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare How are you? Can you tell us what are the four ways that you will follow?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit activities.
Okay, great. And then you'll chant how many rounds every day on these very beats?
A minimum of 16 daily.
Fantastic. So it's hard for me to change the name Tulsi. I just can't. It's like a sin to me. So we would like to keep that name and add to Priya, Tulsi Priya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Sit down, uncle. Sit down.
Well, do whatever is convenient for you. I have a dear godbrother who is in the same state, Bhakti, Radha, who's from Canada. He was in Mayapur and some dacoits came and threw a bomb and it landed on his leg, and so he lost that leg. And he's just moving around like nothing. Okay, so Mahadev, can you tell us what are the four regular principles?
No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no sex life.
Haribol!
Everyone loves you. So, and how many rounds for each channel of the pizza? 16 minimum? Okay. Mahatma Das. Prabhupada ki. Okay, we have 6 more to go. Maureen. Okay. We're going to suggest that whoever's the next in line just come down quickly. And next is Ramchandra. After we're just finishing with her, just slide in. Slide in. Okay. Okay. Maureen. Please tell us what are the 4 regular principles. Okay, great. And how many rounds? Great, wonderful. And so your name is Mandir. Prabhupada ki jai. Jai, that's the way to do it. Jai. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama. Okay, so Ramachandra, can you tell us what are the principles?
No eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
Okay, great. And how many rounds?
16 rounds in 1 game.
Great, fantastic. Just like everybody else. Okay, we'd like to give you the name of Krishna Ranchor. Prabhupada ki. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Devanand, Hare Krishna. Can you please tell us the 4 regular principles?
No eating, no gambling, no illicit activities, no intoxication.
Right, no problem. It happens. Okay. And can you tell us how many rounds? Anybody saying? Minimum 16. Fantastic, great. So we'd like to give you the name Devamrita. Devamrita. Ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Molly. Hare Krishna. I feel like I have to take birth as one of those Matajis from the African tribes with the neck like a giraffe. I feel like I should be a giraffe. Okay, so Molly, can you tell us what are the principles that you follow? And you saw Prabhupada in the early days. In New York. How many rounds do you chant? 16. Okay, we'd like to give you the name Mantramurti. Okay. What if there were 100 people taking wishes? What would I do? With the flowers. Okay, so early enough when you tell us what the 4 regulating principles you agree to follow. Great, wonderful. And how many rounds?
16.
Okay, so this is the name that Prabhupada gave to one dear God sister. She's seen me and she joined in Toronto. And her name is Irvish. Srila Prabhupada ki! And Halaga jumped on the bandwagon. Thank you. Okay. All right. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama. Okay. Can you tell us what are the 4 regular principles you agree to follow?
No eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit activity.
Wow. And how many rounds will you chant in advance?
Minimum 16 daily.
Your mom must be very proud of you. I wish she was here. Let's let that thing go by. It's doing a service. Okay. He's going to stay there. So say it loud. Oh. So we like to read the name. I've been taught by the guy. He's a detective in America. He's a good detective. His name is Hamsarupa. Thank you so much. Okay, we'll continue with the program now, and I'll throw the garlands later on. But we haven't even started the fire. Where are all the fireworks coming? They're a little bit early. I'll give a chance to Hare Krishna. So I got in order to create some auspicious. You can hear me. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Leave! So, in order to create an auspicious environment, we'd like to request everyone to please chant the Maha Mantra. We also like to encourage the Kirtan group to join with us while we prepare and ready to perform this ceremony. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So, everyone, Hare Krishna. Please continue chanting. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Hold it like this. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare. Everyone. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. So we're doing the purification right now, and I would encourage the management here to, in the future, find alternatives to plastic spoons and styrofoam cups and plates. Om Tat Sat
Sri Govinda 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 Asyam Shubha Tato Achyuta Gotra Rasika Mauridasa Sri Krishna Priti Artaham Upanyanam Samskaram Karinahanam Karishyami. Now let's pour the water out forward like this. Kirtan, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare Hare
part we will be offering 3 times, 3 more swaha. And then second part, same. Om Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Swaha, whatever grains you have now, you offer all in the fire in three times, 3 swaha. So we're going to offer all the grains into the fire. Om Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Swaha, Krishna, Hare. Everyone, Hare Rama, stand up. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. So please remember, fire is a representative of the tongue of Lord Vishnu. So do not help or throw the offering. You can hold it into your right hand like this. After I have recited the mantra 3 times, you will offer your banana into the fire after Marg has offered this way. Om Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Go Brahmanaya Cha Jagadishaya Krishnaya Gopinatha Namo Namaha. Om Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Go Brahmanaya Cha Jagadishaya Krishnaya Gopinatha Namo Namaha. Om Namo Brahmanaya Devaya Go Brahmanaya Cha Jagadishaya Krishnaya Gopinatha Namo Namaha. Swaha, 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 Swaha. Please allow Marg to offer first into the fire. Everyone, please one by one take your time. Don't pelt it or throw it. You offer it into the fire. Nice, like that. Please do not get burned. Take your time. One by one. And please sit down now. We're not finished yet. We only have about an hour to go. Please sit down. Everyone, repeat after me. Everyone, please repeat after me. Om Ayo Shanti, Antariksham Shanti, Prithvi Shanti, Apa Shanti, Vayu Shanti, Tejaha Shanti, Osathaya Shanti, Loka Shanti, Brahmana Shanti, Vaishnava Shanti, Shanti Astu, Riti Astu, Om Shanti, 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 प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय श्री राधा गोपीनाथ की जय श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा की जय श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय श्री निताय गौर चंद्र की गौर प्रेमानंदी इस बानवे से श्री भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की His Holiness Bhakti Marg Swami ki I'd like to request Kirtan please, while all of the devotees please stand up. And now request that you sit comfortably. Kirtan please.
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare
Ani habas que no. Ani gwen. I can't get
You're gonna have to move over just Okay, good. Okay, now what everybody has to say. Okay.
That's all.
Don't say pun here. Too cheesy. Don't say cheese. Say honey.
Just play here. Harmol. Just play here.
1, 2, 3, go. Hare Krishna. 1, 2, 3, go. Hare Krishna. One,